2. When our son Ethan was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disorder, our world changed overnight. His immune system is severely compromised, which means he can't be in enclosed public spaces or interact closely with others without risking his life. Even the common cold could land him in the ICU. So to give Ethan the ability to enjoy fresh air safely, we had a specialized medical tent installed in our backyard. This wasn't just any tent. It was a climate-controlled, air-filtered enclosure with medical-grade materials. It allowed Ethan to read, draw, and even wave at his friends from a safe distance. The tent had been donated to us by Senator Albright, who had met Ethan during a children's health initiative and had been moved by his courage and story. The senator even attended the small ribbon-cutting ceremony we held when the tent was set up. But apparently none of that mattered to Mr. Hendricks, the HOA president. From the moment he noticed the tent, he made his disapproval clear. First, it was passive-aggressive notes in our mailbox. Tents are not approved backyard structures. Then came the formal complaints. Structure violates aesthetic guidelines. I explained everything to him. I shared Ethan's medical condition. I showed him the tent was fully temporary and safe, and that we had a state medical exemption. I even provided a letter from Senator Albright's office. Still, Hendricks remained unmoved. "This is a neighborhood, not a campground," he said coldly. "We can't make exceptions for everyone's personal choices." One afternoon while Ethan was inside, I stepped out briefly to grab his medication from the house. That's when it happened. By the time I returned, the tent was half collapsed. Pieces of it were tossed over the fence. I saw Mr. Hendricks walking away with a box cutter and a trash bag, muttering something about taking matters into his own hands. Ethan was crying, not just from fear, but because his safe space was gone. His hands were shaking from the sudden exposure and stress. I got him inside immediately and called an ambulance, just to be safe. As soon as we were back from the hospital, I contacted Senator Albright's office. To my surprise, she responded personally. 2 days later, Senator Albright arrived at the HOA office in person. She walked in calmly, but with unmistakable authority. "Mr. Hendricks," she said, "you destroyed federally donated medical equipment provided under a public health program I personally sponsor. That is not just a violation of HOA policy. That is a potential federal offense." The silence in the room was deafening. Mr. Hendricks stammered, trying to explain himself, but it was too late. The HOA board voted to suspend him immediately pending a formal investigation. Within a week, a new, upgraded medical tent was installed, this time with community volunteers helping set it up. Several neighbors came to apologize and even brought books and drawings for Ethan. The HOA issued a public apology, and policy changes were enacted to protect residents with medical accommodations. As for Mr. Hendricks, he quietly stepped down. Ethan is doing better now. He knows that not everyone will understand, but he also knows he has people, powerful ones, who believe in protecting him. And in our backyard, his new tent stands tall, not just as a medical necessity, but as a symbol of resilience, justice, and what happens when compassion finally speaks louder than ignorance.